We did have an interesting conversation when the guys were getting ready with Jeremy and Brian, where Jeremy or Brian is like, no, Jeremy's like, oh, I want to talk about the cameras. Anyway, and so he tells Jeremy like, oh, I don't want to win with Susie. I mean, I don't want to win with Bailey.
Yeah.
I don't want to win with Bailey because I can't stop thinking about Susie. Like da da da. Da. So, what were your thoughts on that reveal?
I mean, I think it's like, I think we all already knew that a little bit because he's fully like, while she's on a date with Andrew, like calling Susie, begging her to
Yeah,
come back. So I think we already knew that like he was not no longer fully in it with Bailey. But to just like, he really could have kept that to himself. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm glad we know because I'm glad someone knows because potentially this will like increase the chances of Bailey finding out, and I think she deserves to know.
hmm
But like the fact that he cares so little about her and disrespects her so much that he's just willing to like say something like that to it's a small cast and
yeah.
to someone I don't think him and Brian are like best
I
friends.
think they're
So to say
literally
to
just roommates,
Brian,
and
it's
Brian's
like
like,
you.
"Hello."
I almost feel like he wants it to get back to Bailey, so he has an
Yeah.
excuse to like not be with her in the end. Like he wants her to find out right at the end from someone else, so that she can just like be done with him, and then he can be kind of free and clear and single after the show.
hmm
It's just it's so disrespectful to talk about her. Like it's one thing to feel this way. And I think there's a disingenuous thing there, but like to just be blatantly talking about it, because this is not the first time he said stuff, because the whole time she was on the date with Andrew, he was bad mouthing her, like talking to everyone he could, saying like, oh, I just want Susie back. I just want Susie back. And it's like, you do not have any respect for this woman. And it's like, at least because you said you liked her. So it's like there should have been something there enough to at least keep you interested and keep you respectful of her until the show is over, because Susie's not coming back. So
Yeah.
while you're on the
Especially
show,
not
it's
for you.
your choice. Yeah, it's your choice to continue pursuing Bailey, and you supposedly liked her at some point. So it's like at least have some respect for her and like be respectful when you're talking about her while you're on the show. So if you've already made this decision that you're not going to continue it afterwards, either be upfront with her or stop talking like that behind her back. Those are your two choices. You can either be respectful of her and keep it to yourself and maybe resolve that outside of cameras, especially to be like, I don't want to talk about this with the mics on, and then proceed to talk about it with the mic on.
Yeah.
The mic fully picked up what you just said, you know that. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know you're being disrespectful, you know you're being like secretive. So either address it or wait till you're actually genuinely off camera to address it, because
Yeah.
you've made this choice to continue to be with her for the rest of the show. So like you get to decide exactly how bad you look, about exactly how much you're gonna be respectful of Bailey, and he's just being like a total turd. And I hated that. And I just like I cannot wait for Bailey to find out, because she really needs to find out that this is the way this man is talking about her.
Yeah.
Um Meanwhile, she's just like having fun and she thinks she's like in a healthy, productive relationship where they both chose each other.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
yeah, and
agree.
Bailey's awesome. I love
Yeah.
Bailey. So to and the thing is, Jeremy, we didn't see a whole lot of Jeremy on Jen season because Sam M took a lot of the attention. So him and Spencer, like, we thought they were pretty good guys. And so to see this side of him, it's like, oh wow. Because
Yeah.
I initially was kind of excited about that pairing. She's out of his league.
Yeah.
But I was excited about that pairing. And then he just ends up being like a total turd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
I was
agree.
disappointed.
I think he's doing that classic thing of like you're saying he's acting like, "Oh, I don't want to talk in front of the cameras. I don't want to talk mic'd up." And pretending like, oh, like I can't help it if this gets out, but it's like he's trying to start a rumor, which is not actually a rumor, because he wants to play that role of like it gets back to her, and like you said, at the end they have this really big blow up, and I feel like he almost wants her to be the one that's mad and angry and come at him and be like, how could you do this, like da da da. And I think he would rather have that like big dramatic blow up conversation rather than have the hard conversation of like, hey, I'm not into you. I've lied to you. I've called Susie. Like, he does not want to be vulnerable about any of those things. So he'd rather like get her worked up. So she's the one to like leave him. And that still doesn't make him look like the bad guy, but it like allows him to not do any of the heavy lifting of like dissolving the relationship.
Yeah.
And another thing that was surprising to me, I so obviously we knew that like he was interested in Susie silly me, I thought he let it go. I thought when Susie turned him down, he said, I thought he heard that information and said, thank you very much. Let me focus on what I have in front of me. I knew he was never like fully invested in Bailey, but I thought he knew that Susie didn't want him. So it was
Yeah.
very surprising to hear that he was like, oh, I still want her back, and like still thinks that he could have done, there's something he could have done differently to like continue this relationship with Susie. Because it's not like when he called her, she wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I wish we could have connected, like da da da. Because like if the producers wanted to bring her back, they easily could have. All she had to do was say so. And she was not interested in him. So for him to be like, oh, I should have given her a rose and maybe we would still be together, like that, like the Delulu is really the
Yeah.
Delulu with this one.
It really is delusional. Susie doesn't want him, and I the same. I thought he understood that that was a rejection, but now
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I think he just thinks she didn't want to come back to the resort, like she was
Yeah.
kind of like over and done and emotionally exhausted from this experience, and not that that was I don't want to come back for you,
Yeah.
like you're not good enough for me to want to
Yeah.
come back. I don't think he took that as a rejection. I think she was very nice about it. So I think it's what, frankly, a lot of men
hmm
like you need to spell it out for them sometimes with
Yeah.
rejection. Like
Because when
because
they
they will
played
make
the
every
clip back,
excuse.
she said he said, "Can you come back to the resort?" And she said, "I don't think I can." So like you said, he took that to mean, oh, she's not able to physically come back
Yeah.
to paradise. There's something
Yeah.
in her contract that's not allowing her to
It's a
return.
logistics thing.
Yeah.
Susie's definitely waiting for me when I get
Yeah.
home. Because that's what's crazy about it is he's literally in his head, when the show is over, he's going to be able to immediately
Yeah.
jump into something with Susie. Susie does not want
Yeah.
him. Oh my God, it's the whole thing with like when with the like the kiss thing where he's like checking off every woman and nobody else chose him. It's like recognize when you have a woman who wants you. And
hmm
like if you have a good thing going with her, because there was no reason for the chemistry and there hasn't been a problem with Bailey. It was ever since she went on that date where he's now insecure. And I feel like
Yeah.
he has to be able to live in his delusion that he's the prize. And when Bailey
Yeah.
went on that, because he was willing to go on whatever date, he like
Yeah.
whatever date handed him, he was like the whole time he was like, I need to keep my even when he was with Bailey, he was telling everyone he possibly could, I'm keeping my options
Everyone
open.
but
I'm not tying
Bailey.
myself down. So it's like so he needs to feel like he's the prize, and the moment that he feels like maybe they're equals or maybe the other person has opportunities too, even though they're choosing him still, he can't see that. He needs to feel like they're they can't believe what they have and like that
Yeah.
they're not going to trade anything for him. And so I think that's just I don't know, he needs to work on that. But that's why I think he can't accept that Susie doesn't want him because he thinks like he's incredible.
Yeah.
And like I
And
mean,
I
he's
think that's
not
the
bad.
problem with Bailey doing charity work and like dating someone who she's out of his league, because
Yeah.
then that leads him to believe, oh, I can pull all these types of girls that are out of my league. It's like, no, buddy, you just got lucky. I don't know how or why, but like this is the exception and not the rule. You cannot pull all these girls of Bailey's caliber.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why it just makes it so much more infuriating that he's fumbling Bailey like this. Because I was like, you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna regret this. I know he is.